Capcom Fighting Collection. So Capcom is not a stranger to releasing various connections, but there are a couple of the titles that are notorious for missing the cut each time. And a title like Red Earth, for example, hasn't seen re-release since its 1996 arcade debut until now. That is. The title and the several other criminally overlooked Capcom fighting games find new life in a simple title, Capcom Fighting Collection. It's a collection that may seem unassuming and ununited, but holds nearly all games, and it presented with a flexible setting and extra content to boot. Capcom Fighting Collection includes 10 fighting games. Half of the titles are from the Darkstalkers series, which even main entry from the franchise showing up in this collection. In all honesty, it in itself would make us a decent compilation, but the collection also includes the Fantasy Fighter Red Earth, the Mech Battling Cyberbots, and the chibi-styled Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo and Super Game Fighter Minimix, as well as the obligatory Hyper Street Fighter 2 Anniversary Edition. There are numerous settings for fiddle with, both in general and with each title. The button mapping feature is essential here, as some titles vary drastically in their original button layout. Each game can save its individual settings, which may seem not a brainer, but isn't always found in collection like this, so it's greatly appreciated. Difficulty settings in the Capcom Fighting Collection are also adjustable with a wide range for nearly every player. This was also fascinating to see, as some games' defaults are naturally easier or tougher than the others, and it's a bit of peek into how Capcom views each release difficulty. To get the CTR arcade appearance, there are several fittest players can adjust to their liking. There's vary in intensity and a real pattern, but also be turned off together for those looking for a clean HD pixel look. A few border art options for each title are also present. If you are not into the full screen presentation, you can change the aspect ratio for a more stretched and distorted look. Players can also switch between the Japanese and US versions of the games that were released in both territories. There may be more language changes here, but it's nothing I note without a deep dive. Still, the choice to switch regions is awesome to have. A quick save and load is also present, although these features is not game specific and unfortunately applies to all titles. Multiple save would be nice option, but given that most fighters don't have any long playtime, it's not a huge issue for me. Still, other players needs many variety. There is a save error that pops up every so often when you attempt to save setting or use the quick save. Even through this message appeared, it never seemed to actually fail when saving, but the alert is always a bit alarming, even if it seems to be unwarranted. When this error display, it will also ask if you want to return to the title screen, which depending on where are you in the game can be a bigger issue than save failure if you accidentally click yes. Hopefully this is an issue quickly resolved with an update, but it's standard a bit of the annoying. As for the title themselves, it is extremely solid roster. The games feel like they go well with each other. All of the Darkstalkers games are exceptional fighting titles with the super blade designed monsters wreaking havoc in the atmosphere. Gothic settings. Some of the characters are rightfully iconic despite the few releases they've ever seen. It was an absolute joy to play the series in a particular again. Red Earth and Cyberbots are certainly more devastating for love as well. Both feature gorgeous backgrounds and certainly when your battles take place. They implemented breakable objects in extremely creative and mesmerizing ways. Both titles have the most deviations from the other fighters in the collection, requiring you to really understand the nuance of the fighting mechanics and what is being asked of you. The Red Earth even features a password mode. Leveling up features something almost unheard in a typical fighters. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo is a fighter, his name only is combat, sees you playing out both a drop-down puzzle board against the opponent. Super Game Fighter Minimix is a fun, cutesy take on a Street Fighter with a similar combat, the more traditional Hyper Street Fighter 2. As quick-paced as many of these titles, our accurate response time is crucial. Controls in Capcom Fighting Collection feel extremely responsible and accurate on my memory in each games. For those looking for more competitive, there is a local and online play as well, as the Capcom Fighting Collection has leaderboards to see what you rank against the other fighters. In addition to this, there are also fighter awards, which are achievements unlocked once you meet certain requirements. Some of these are simple, like playing a game for the first time, while the others are achieved when completing each game entirely. There are also individual game achievements you can explore when beating each game with every playable character. As far as I can tell, it doesn't unlock any bonus material, but it simply there is a challenge. Additional materials can be seen in the museum and contains various pieces of concept, art and soundtracks from each game. There are some truly beautiful pieces of art for most of these titles, and it's a great inclusion. The Capcom Fighting Collection titles have some amazing tunes as well, so it's great to have them isolated, so they can be appreciated of their own merit. Those who have waited for a proper re-release for several of the fighting games featured in the Capcom Fighting Collection can restart assured knowing the collection delivers. What could be a decent Darkstalkers compilatory is made even better by the inclusion of the titles, so rare that those that have played them probably haven't in over 25 years. With the inclusion of adjustable settings and a museum that highlights and the art music of each title, it becomes an immensely solid collection. Even the pickiest of fighting games would be hard-pressed not to find several titles in this collection they can easily think their teeth into for an hours. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.